Greetings, Earthlings, and welcome to the Overwatch All-Star Brawl 4 presented by Star Esports. Tonight, we are thrilled to be bringing you the titanic battle that is the Winners Bracket Final between Citizens and Astray. The prize on the line for today's victor, of course, is a place in our championship match where they will be just one single win away from being named Champions of the Brawl. For tonight's match, I am Temporal, and joining me will be the foremost expert on these teams, having casted them both during the week in their latest wins. And I am talking about the shockingly unreticent Shy Guy. So welcome, and what a phenomenal matchup we're about to witness.
I mean, I think you said it all right there. I mean, this is what the entire tournament has been building up to. These two teams have come through the upper bracket unscathed so far, though not without their challenges and their hurdles to get here. Citizens especially had to overcome Team 2 in their last game earlier this week. A very close 3-2, a nail-biting series that went right down to the wire. Astray, on the other hand, has had a little bit of an easier go of it. I mean, they've dropped just a single map in the entire tournament so far, all the way back in the first round. They've tightened things up since then, and they are looking to keep that momentum rolling here tonight.
Indeed they are. It's just been a nice casual run for them, and that's not something we're particularly surprised with. We did see them I know we casted them last year in the Overwatch All-Star Trials, where they just blitzed through that competition. Nothing could slow them down there, and it appears nothing can slow them down here either. So Citizens are going to have to be on their toes, and particularly you mentioned they had the 3-2 against Team 2 in the last round. Even before that, they went 3-2 against Forefront Esports and 3-1 in the first round against Feeders with Benefits. So they haven't had the easiest run, whether it's a difference in quality of opposition or simply a team that just is able to adapt eventually, but maybe has a bit of trouble starting out of the gates or getting a handle on their opponent straight away. It will be interesting, I think, an interesting match for Citizens to see if they can cope with what Astray throws at them.
Yeah, I mean, what you talked about there, kind of adapting to what your opponents throw at you, that's exactly what we saw in their last series against Team 2. They won the first map of the series, but then Team 2 kind of got on top of things as the series progressed. Eventually got it to map point at 2-1 before Citizens were able to bring it back. And the thing I think they kind of realized, at least during that series, is that they weren't going to be able to go toe-to-toe with Team 2 on the kind of most standard meta composition right now, which is running that Orisa Sigma, the BAP, and then the Zen as your supports, and then the Mei Hanzo as your DPS duo. What Citizens kind of the adaptation they made, the change that they made that made all the difference in that series was really committing to playing the Mei Reaper as their DPS duo, getting Zeus on that very aggressive, very close range hero, as opposed to trying to take the sniper duel.
Indeed, and that you said, as we saw in that match, that proved very fruitful for them. And interestingly enough, I think that's something Astray won't mind, because they historically have played a fair bit of Reaper. We saw that. We saw Rory has an incredible Reaper, very aggressive, always in the back, in the tank's face, in the support's face, getting the job done. Rory also plays on the Hanzo as well, so I think if Astray wants to make things a little bit more difficult for Citizens, they will stick more closer to the meta. I feel they've got a better handle on how to play the meta composition, and so I think that's where it'll come down to. Do Astray want to play into the same comp as Citizens and win out the mirror matchup, or do they want to stick a little more meta? And I think there are advantages and disadvantages either way. Of course, you're playing the meta, you've got the nominally stronger composition. Then if they play off meta, if they put Rory on that Reaper, they may be a more comfortable place for them. Just because they're good at the meta doesn't mean it's their best composition, as exactly you've highlighted with Citizens. So I think that will be an interesting matchup there. Those two DPS, Zeus and Rory, both play very similar heroes and both have popped off in all the matches they've played so far. They keep coming up in the kill feed. They keep getting their names yelled out. They're both up there as candidates for MVP every match. So I think that'll be a really strong matchup to watch.
No, absolutely. And, having, I think, the ability to flex between those two comps is going to be fantastic for Astray, especially as we roll into this. It gives you a lot of flexibility, and it gives you the option to kind of play it based on what map you are on at the time. There are going to be maps that lend themselves a little bit better to those pokier compositions, to coming through with the Hanzo, the higher shield break, the longer range damage, and then there's going to be times where you really do want to try and match that Reaper. So I'm curious, one, if Citizens is going to kind of stick with what got them here in the first place, or if they're going to try to go head to head with Rory on that Hanzo. We'll just have to find out as we roll into the series. But either way, I think we've got a lot of kind of strategic mind games going on in this series, and I think that'll be fascinating to watch.
And especially here on the first map of Busan, so given it's a control map, you've got the 3 different areas, and that's a nice little window. It's a sample pack, really, for the rest of the series, saying these are the different styles of maps we can offer you, and these are the different compositions we'll be willing to roll out on. Another matchup I would like to highlight in this match is between the off-tank players, Leo Cakes for the side, as I scroll, of Citizens, and Train Cloud on the side of Astray. Both have been really influential. On the Sigma particularly, Train Cloud as well has shown a lot of flexibility onto the Wrecking Ball, doing a really good job when they're on that hero of getting into the front lines, particularly on control, getting into the front lines and disrupting the opposing team. On the counter, Leo Cakes has actually been flexing a bit onto D.Va, which I've been interested to see, particularly on the control maps. We've seen it on Oasis and Lijiang Tower so far. I don't expect Busan to be any different. So I like the flexibility these off-tanks are willing to show. They're willing to get on these different characters that may not be the same meta that Sigma is, but they're making it work, and particularly for Leo Cakes with the D.Va booster buffs, maybe finding a little more use for that hero going forward. And Astray maybe not ready for it if they haven't been playing around D.Va for the last few months.
No, definitely. I mean, Leo Cakes had a lot of success on that hero. A lot of times it was brought out in counter to a Pharah on the other side. That defense matrix. One of the best ways that you can at least kind of protect your team, and with that booster buff, as you mentioned, a lot more capable now of harassing those Pharahs up in the sky, keeping them at bay, and allowing the rest of Citizens to play out. But we're going to start it off on Sanctuary, and I think that gives a real opportunity for that Wrecking Ball of Train Cloud to come into play here.
Yes, it does. They've got the big drum in the middle. You can just attach your cable to that and then swing around and around, beat the drum a little bit. And actually, not just the drum in the middle. There's lots of poles, lots of walls you can attach. I've forgotten the ability's name. Attach the.
It's not grappling hook, because that's Widowmaker's.
It could be grappling hook. Maybe that's where he scavenged it from. He just found a dead Widowmaker somewhere. But I'll have that, because as we all know here at Star Hill Esports, we hate Widow.
Yes, we do. But you could actually see that Widow here on Sanctuary. You got those sight lines. I've seen some double sniper comps on this point before. It doesn't look to be the case, at least right now, as neither of these teams really want to rock the boat too much.
No, they're just willing to come out in the meta, see how they match up here. Of course, we said they're flexible, but they do often try that meta. Or as I say, that Zeus is teasing that Reaper, so that may be what comes out for the side of Citizens coming out. Of course, Citizens on the left side of your screen, Astray on your right. For those of you playing along at home, and I keep forgetting that you can see the names at the top of your screen on the broadcast. You just can't see them in the map. In any case, yeah, meta coming out from Astray, and meta plus Reaper for Citizens so far.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see if they can get Zeus into position, but they might just not have to. They win the fight outright with 2 picks right there. This is over.
Yeah, fortunately, Rory and Arrow going a little too aggressive, getting caught out of position, and Citizens in command at this point. Immortality Field there to keep them alive as well. They're able to get any more kills though, so yeah, they will. Astray, Chime going down, Crimson as well. And just like that, Citizens will take first capture here on Busan.
I mean, that's absolutely perfect there for Citizens to start things off. They're able to isolate a couple of members of Astray before the fight really begins in earnest, and that gives them an easy first capture here on Sanctuary. They get things off to a good start. Astray kind of taking the first punch right in the mouth. Let's see how they respond.
And a bit of a weird positioning there for Citizens. They choose to go around to the left from their perspective. Now they're going around to the right. Astray set up on the point. Crimson building out that percentage, forcing Citizens to at least contest around the drum. Immortality field to keep them alive for now, and the amplification matrix and Squid is out as well. No direct kills on the field yet. A dragon already built up by Rory. That Hanzo doing a great job in a losing fight to have that built up. Of course, there's a slight repositioning from Citizens, allowing more kills to come their way, and Aero and Rory getting in on that. Squid with one back onto Aero, though. It looks like Citizens will maintain control of the point for now. 2 players low, Train Cloud, not much doing. Does get a final kill onto Squid, though, so Leo Cake's the eventual victor of this fight.
Yeah, when all is said and done, he's the only one to really stay alive, but the real MVP in that fight has got to be Squid. Getting up to that amp matrix early on allows him to pump out so much healing, so much damage at the same time. He gets the opening pick on the switch, and eventually that sustained advantage is what wins Citizens that fight.
No changes here from Astray. They're willing to stick with this composition so far. The amplification matrix is out from Switch, able to pick up Leo Cakes in the middle of that. As a counter to that, Boat wants to make sure everyone stays solid, stays frozen. Chime is the victim of that. But with Boat and Korea's Snack going down, it's an even trade both ways. Crimson getting on the kill feed as well. And after that, in all, two ultimates invested, and Astray is in command of the point now.
Yes, they will be, but they're going to be facing a pretty much fully loaded Citizens coming back into this one. They just need one fight to take this, and they'll have 5 ults at their disposal, 2 damage boosting ults. This is going to be difficult here for Astray. They're a little bit low on tools. They need to get Arrow up to that sound barrier to have a chance here.
Yeah, so hopefully someone from Australia would poke a little bit, take some damage, but not too much damage. At least there's no Hanzo on the side of Citizens to punish anyone severely out of position, and this is quite a rotation coming in from Citizens all the way around the back. Now they're coming from Astray spawn side. Oh, there you go. The Gravitic Flux is out, picks up 3 in the air. The Sound Barrier will counter that. Mercio doing a great job holding on to that. Dragon comes through from Rory as well. No direct kills off that, but Aero picking up 2. Rory on the backside as well. A clean team fight win for Astray, but it did come at a little bit of a cost.
Yes, but they will be able to retain that sound barrier. They even got the Gravitic Flux out of Leo Cake. So all in all, not the worst place to be. Now they're really going to be relying on Rory on this Hanzo to find some kind of opening for them. If he can get a pick off before this next fight starts, then Astray has a real shot at this one. Otherwise, this is going to be difficult.
And it's up to 75% now, so this could potentially be the last fight for Citizens, particularly if they still insist on sticking to these long flanks as they make their way onto the point. They have the supercharger in support. Crimson goes very low, but is ably kept up by the supports. Oh, from Australia, the point is flipped over. It's up to 99%. Crimson is the only one touching, but they are isolated. They will be cut down. Zeus with a Death Blossom as well, making sure that no one else from Astray is able to get close. The kills are coming through. Switch trying as valiantly as they can. Aero is there as well, so it's just the supports on the point. But I feel it's going to be a little too late for them. No damage there. Zeus will finish it up, and Citizens will come away with the first capture here on Busan.
Yeah, Zeus getting the cleanup in that fight, but he was also kind of the key player there. It's such patience to hang on to that Death Blossom through the initial engagements, waits for the sound barrier to dissipate on the side of Astray, then unleashes it and closes down that fight for Citizens. They come away with a hard-fought victory on that first point, but boy, I think we're in for a good one here.
Oh yes, and I would like to see maybe, particularly on mecha base here, see if Rory's willing to swap off. Oh, sorry, I just really want to see Rory's Reaper again. I'm not saying Rory's doing bad on Hanzo, but it didn't quite work out on Sanctuary. Maybe you want to switch and take that close in fight. Is Zeus teasing the Symmetra? Is this just a teleport strat? Yes, it is. Zeus will swap back onto the Hanzo. So now we are facing a mirror matchup, and this is where it could get interesting. We mentioned at the start the mirror matchup not necessarily favoring Citizens, so we'll see how they choose to go with Rory here as a sneaking around as well.
Zeus is caught out of position though, was coming in off the flank, but Train Cloud is so ready for it.
Yes, and with both Hanzos actually, Hanzo, sorry, trying to maintain a little flank. Rory, the only one alive. Crimson gets frozen, gets away, almost gets away. Is finally killed by Bopa. Rory will be the one standing on the point, getting the first capture, and it's still relatively even in the middle as well, so that's a fight Citizens may not have wanted to have lost.
Yeah, Citizens are going to be able to come back in here, though. They've got 6 on the point, and Astray can't really contest it without their Orisa in the fight.
No, and Trainclad is isolated underneath as well. That kill will be finished off. Trade either way, but of course, in a 5v5 fight, it's going to be much more difficult without your Sigma. So as I say that, Rory, a Sonic Arrow to Korean Snack's head, positively identifying where that Orisa brain is. We'll take that Orisa out of the fight. So now, I guess the tank battle is going to favor Astray at the moment. Crimson set just being a solid turret on point, making sure that no one is going to take this away from Astray. They capture the point back, and it's been a very back and forth fight at the start of this map.
For sure, the DPS of Astray really showing up in that fight. Chime with a beautiful wall to separate Citizens as they emerge from underneath, and now Citizens getting aggressive here.
Wow, that's a quick blizzard from Chime. It's already out. Korean Snack, unfortunately, getting caught in that boat as well. Was able to use the cryo freeze to escape that, but once that wore off, Train Cloud was all over the May. And the Citizens will be forced to fall back. A little bit of chase coming through from Astray, but they're willing to let them fall back for now.
That was a brilliant blizzard right there. It catches them right as the May and the Orisa are dropping off the high ground. The rest of Citizens can't follow those 2 down low, and they fall isolated from the rest of the team.
The Dragon immediately picks up Squid. The Sand Barrier just not in time for Mercio to keep that Baptiste alive. The Blizzard invested now by Citizens captures the Orisa. I guess a little return from what Astray did to them. The Sand Barrier from Aero will keep everyone except the tank line alive. Crimson does actually get the supercharger out before they die, and Trainclad is healed up from almost certain death, so Astray almost lost their entire tank line, and off the back of that, the DPS are doing work here. Leo Cake's going down, Boat as well. Astray in firm control of here on Mecha Base, building up to 82%.
Indeed they are, and now it's going to be a little bit of a last-second rush here from Citizens. They will have the Amp Matrix as well as those Dragons from Zeus as they try to make this one happen, pushing against a pretty empty Astray lineup.
Ha! The Zeus unleashes the Dragons through the wall. That is heads-up communication from Citizens, identifying where Astray was playing. The Holt was out as well from the Korean Snack to make sure everyone stayed in position. Off the back of that, Trainclad as the victim. The rest of Astray is forced to fall back. Crimson went low as well, but they're willing to give this up, Shy Guy. They've got about 60% left in the clock for Citizens before they catch up to 99 themselves.
Yeah, they're just waiting to get Chime up to this Blizzard. He will fall to that Sonic Arrow from Zeus, so they'll have to wait a little bit longer, but that will be the tool that they want to use to end this map here and now, or to end this, point.
And there's nothing left for Citizens either. No ultimates online.
No, so this is going to be a tough defense for sure. They are aware of where Astray is trying to enter in that Sonic Arrow. Scouts them out beautifully. Train Cloud a little isolated now.
Whoa. Yeah, the amplification matrix out, but no one really able to take advantage of it. Those both Sigmas are the first victims of this fight, and once the wall goes down though, Rory's able to come out and get a kill on Squid and Korean Snack. So what looked like an alright fight off the start of that wall is unfortunately falling apart a bit for Citizens. They get 2 kills back, so it's very brawly. 3 kills. The DPS of Citizens showing that they don't want to go at this point right here, right now. They don't want to stray, evening it up, and they want to push through right now and take out Mecha Base and take out Busan.
Yeah, they might just have a chance to do it. They'll still have the sound barrier for a lot of sustain in this next fight. They can get real aggressive off the back of that arrow, off the edge of the map. That's absolutely brutal.
Oh, that's not what you want to be doing as Lucio. Crimson is back on the Wrecking Ball, forced to swap just to trigger the overtime. So now the advantage is solidly with Citizens. They have ultimates to spare. Zeus's Dragon picks up 1. Trainclad gets an accretion kill back on the Leo Cake, so the Wrecking Ball's out, dead now on both sides. But the Sound Barrier will be there to keep Citizens alive. That Gravitic Flux from Train Cloud after the Sand Barrier is out. Smart play from the Sigma, just waiting until the defensive cooldown is no longer available. But the numbers will favor Citizens. They've got the numbers. They will finish up Busan here and put themselves up 1-0 in this match.
And that comes off as a little bit of a fumble there from Astray. They had the advantage pretty strongly here on Mecha Base and give it up with some untimely play. Some big moments from the Citizens DPS really saved the day for them, and they turned that fight around. They're able to close out Busan with a 2-0 victory, take the early advantage in this series, and give Astray a taste of defeat that they haven't really felt in a while.
Yeah, and we're certainly going to be in foreign territory for Astray here. They've only ever had to pick one map. The map they picked was Anubis, so it is theoretically a possibility. We'll see which map is banned first, though. But before we get to that, yes, that last fight was crucially important. Astray had 3 ultimates available. They threw all 3 of those ultimates into that fight, and they got nothing. And that's got to hurt. Not only are they're down in a series, which is a foreign concept for them, they got to be thinking, geez, has Citizens got a number? Do they know something about us that we don't know ourselves?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, if you are Astray, like the thing you're saying to yourself after that map is like, well, we screwed that one up. That was not them beating us. That was us making mistakes that cost us that map. And that's something that can be fixed as long as you keep your mentality in the right place going into the rest of this series. Don't allow that to kind of get the better of you, to get you tilted in the wrong mindset going forward. And there's still plenty of time to bring this series back. Now you've got control of the maps in terms of where we're going to be playing the next map, so you really get to kind of dictate how this goes, and I think that's got to have you feeling a little bit more comfortable. You just got to reset and put that one behind you.
Yep, and so we've seen Hanamura has been banned, so Citizens just not wanting to go there. I'd be afraid of. I would be afraid if I was Citizens. They've been full held on that map before.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. After their experience last time against Team 2, Wannabe just ripping them to pieces on the Hanzo, I don't think they want to take their chances with Rory in that position either. So they'll just take that one out of the pool and force Astray to take us somewhere else. I mean, I'd be surprised. You mentioned that Anubis was the one map that Astray has picked so far in this tournament. I'd be surprised to see that one here. To me, that's a map that really plays into the strengths of Citizens as a team, their ability to fight in those close range compositions, to get Zeus on that Reaper on his comfort pick as much as possible. So I would expect Astray to take us somewhere perhaps a little bit more, open in terms of the map layout.
I feel that they might probably they'll probably take us to an escort or a hybrid map. Although I don't know if I was them, I would take to escort, purely just looking at Citizens map record. They've only lost 1 hybrid map so far.
That was
against Team 2. So, not only that, they've been full held on Rialto. So maybe that could be nope. They're going to Eichenwald. Never mind that. Actually, before we get into that, sorry, I want to mention, make sure if you've got your eye on someone, you've seen someone been popping off this match, make sure you scroll down a little bit from your Twitch stream, vote for your MVP. We will interview them at the end of this match, and we would like to know exactly who you thought was the best player on ground tonight. And after you voted, make sure you scroll back up, put this at full screen again. You don't want to miss any of this action. Of course, this is the winners bracket final. These are 2 teams that haven't tasted defeat yet, have rarely tasted the bitter pill of being behind in a series. Citizens, as you said, last match has. Astray never felt it, so this will be very interesting. Wonder what. Also, I'm just looking at Astray. We haven't seen Chime play yet. We've previously seen Mercedes, and I know in trials they had Chinese Food, who's still listed on the roster. So I'm wondering if there's
Chinese Food has now departed and moved on to Old Man Strength is his new home. So moving on to a different team, and so now it looks to me like Astray is kind of maybe kind of searching for their new DPS, who they might be picking up. They might be trialing some different people as they continue their preparation for the later stages of Open Division right now, just trying to kind of figure out who works best. I was pretty happy with the way that Chime played on Busan. I thought he was solid in that May role for them. Had some very good walls. I noticed in particular he took the 1v1 against Boat and had a nice little tiny tech. I mean, it's not something that's super complicated, but as they were both trying to freeze each other, he resets his own kind of freeze timer by ice blocking for a split second, pops right back out, gets the freeze onto Boat, and takes the win in that duel in one of the fights that Astray was able to win. So he's had a nice series so far. We'll see if that continues here on Eichenwald, which historically in this tournament has been kind of the perfect map for Pharah players in particular. I'll be interested to see if either of these teams want to go in that direction.
Yeah, I know for the side of Astray, we've seen the May player take up the reins of the Pharah. Mercedes was in the last match. I don't remember seeing it in the very first match, actually. So it'll be interesting if Chime has a Pharah. On the side of Citizens, of course, I'm scrolled to the wrong team.
Yeah, I believe Boat has been Boat is the one teasing it, at least for the time being. We'll see. That could definitely change. And Pharah is one of those roles that can be flexed between either DPS, especially right now when you consider both of the two kind of primary meta DPS are the projectile variety. Switching over to the Pharah, not too much of a stretch for either of them. So we'll just have to see. It looks like they do want to keep Zeus on the Hanzo here defensively. Boat going to be picking up the Pharah, and Leo Cakes back on his signature diva, something we've seen pretty often from them. But I'm curious how much value we'll be able to get without the Pharah on the other side.
Yeah, probably anticipating that Pharah. And of course, on the defense, you've got to once you're in. You have to wait till you've got to wait till you die till you reset. And I guess you wouldn't want to reset necessarily if you're on defense, because that means you've died and you've given an opening onto the point. As we say that, Astray's choosing a pincer movement. They're trapping this clock tower quite well. They've gone around both sides, but unfortunately, Rory is the first to fall in that fight. Boat was able to find them. Immortality Field take it down as well. So Boat and Squid doing a great job of camping Rory's body, denying any chance of a res. And that means the attackers now, they're here on the point, but they didn't have numbers in their favor, but Arrow taking out Boat. A nice little triple tap to the dome. Crimson falling will make it a lot harder, though. Boat being resurrected as well, even though Squid is being hunted down. There you go. The Pharah back in the fight straight away, able to take out Train Cloud. The remainder of Astray being cut down, forced back. Chime will be the last player alive and will be able to get out here. So a solid start from Citizens.
They do give up a tick, and there was a moment of danger there for them when Boat went down. Squid went for a ballsy res and managed to escape with his life. So an excellent play kind of keeps Citizens in this fight. Now they get to set up for the defense. They'll have both DPS ults. The Dragons are out.
Oh, what a halt! Oh, it draws in multiple players. 2 kills off the back of that Dragon. Fantastic work from the Orisa, ensuring those kills. Crimson is down. This attack will be a lot shorter than the last one, Shy Guy.
Yeah, that is absolutely perfect there for Citizens. And you talked about the reset on the defense before we even got started. Leo Kicks has had that opportunity after dying in the last fight. He goes back to spawn, gets on the Sigma, so now they're much more comfortable in terms of the tank matchup here.
A tactical death, I reckon, from that off-tank player. So, I'll just throw my mech in, throw my life away. We've got this as Boat unleashes that barrage, not from above, but from the side. An amplification matrix is out now as well. So a little wall there from Chime to block it off, but the kills are still coming through from Citizens. Astray not having any luck so far here on Eichenwald.
I actually love the way Boat just used that barrage. Rather than trying to drop in from behind Astray, he goes right in front of them, but uses that central clock tower as a bit of cover, forces them to back up behind the corner to avoid all the rockets. Of course, Crimson can't get out in time and does fall. That's enough for Citizens to hang on to this defense. And They're going to keep it up here, but they will only have this supercharger as they try to continue the defense here on Eichenwald.
And both support ultimates available for Astray. Both DPS ults. Oh, actually, all the full 6 coming up into this fight. They've used the amplification matrix ready just to push back citizens. The supercharger is out now, but that gets melted almost instantly. And off the back of that, Chime will throw in the Blizzard, cleaning up the kill onto Mercio. Zeus is trapped in the backline, frozen, but no one's going to be seen there. More things on Astray's plate for the moment. The Dragon's out, the Transcendence as well. No direct kills off the back of that, but Trainclad coming up big. 2 kills for that Sigma player, including the accretion onto Leo Case. Astray will capture the point and put 3 minutes on their attacking clock.
Just overwhelming firepower there for Astray as they're able to close out point A, get this payload moving, and start trying to kind of gain the upper hand on this map here. Boat still sticking with the Pharah through point B, at least going to continue to be a menace up in the skies as he lays in damage from afar, but we'll just have to see if Astray can put these 2 tank ults to good use. They've got the supercharger out, boosting them all up.
Oh, Crimson not quite able to get away. Boat finishing off that and the supercharger. And so they had the super, yeah, not really supercharging anything besides Crimson's death there, just making him a priority target for the Pharah.
Absolutely, and they haven't really so far in this map been able to put much pressure onto boats up in the sky. I mean, it really comes down to Rory. Maybe Switch and Chime can hit some shots occasionally, but it's a tough thing to do, and so far he is feasting.
I think Boat's got Rory's number today, so it's making it very hard for the Hanzo to do anything. The Gravitic Flux comes out, Arrow is finally killed, not directly, but with the follow-up damage. Boat going down to Chime, so the May doing a good job. Zeus is the resurrection, though, from the defending team. So kills going both ways, and with Squig going down, it's going to be very difficult for Citizens to hold on here. As I say that, Mercy thinking the amplification matrix field will provide them the benefit they need, just jumping around, avoiding those rocks flying through the air. But it's not enough. Crimson, sick of being killed first, will get the kill onto Mercio. This cart will continue charging forward as it makes its way onto the bridge with a lot to work with, actually, for the side of Astray.
Oh, indeed, they'll have that Blizzard, and that's kind of the way I want them to fight. I want them to ignore Boat as much as possible, just try to take the frontline battle, get this cart moving a little bit more, and finish things off with the Blizzard. They've got Citizens pushed all the way back almost to the doors of the castle here.
Yeah, they do trading dragons here. The dragons don't cancel each other out. They just apply damage to both teams. 1 kill coming either way. 2 kills coming either way now for each team. So it's a 4v4 on the point. The Transcendence and the Blizzard will be there for Astray to make sure they can keep pushing through. Leo Cakes is the victim of that. There's now 2 players left outside, 3 players left outside. Boat throws in a Blizzard, gets 1, but is trades out with Chime, throws an icicle through the dome. Off the back of that, those Citizens will come out the victors of that fight. Astray falls back, 30 seconds left, and they're just in front of point B.
I loved what Boat did in that last fight. His rocket, or his concussion rocket, was able to knock Trainclad out of the immortality field right into the dragon, secure that kill, deny their Gravitic Flux. That could have been enough for Astray to get over the line here, but now it's going to have to be the last second attack. Crimson already going very low.
And the supercharger comes out to make sure that anyone that comes out through that tiny little door will be eating nothing but damage. I think oh no, it's okay. We saw a bit of a boop there. People just falling left, right, and center. Wow, the Valkyrie out as well. A lot too much damage for Astray to handle. They will be stopped right in front of the doors to this castle.
Yeah, they were in a bit of a desperate spot there. They didn't have the time to set up for the fight they want. They couldn't get Rory into position. He went for a kind of a desperation pick, going over the Widow, hoping to deal with Boats, hoping to be able to free fire onto the point and keep Citizens from mounting a successful defense. But it's just not to be, as Citizens. They assert themselves quite a bit here on Eichenwald. They have set themselves a very doable win condition now.
And it's a lot of be looking at the DPS for Strays. Can they deal with Boat in the sky? You don't want to be leaving it to your Baptiste. I know we've had some vicious Baptistes in this brawl so far, but Boat is just running roughshod all over the DPS from Astray, and I think if they can't handle that, it could be very difficult for them to mount a successful defense here on Eichenwald. Try go.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately for Astray, the most kind of bloodthirsty support we've had in this entire tournament is on the other side of the field right now. Squid has just been a monster in that regard so far, especially in that last series that got Citizens to this point, and trying to continue it here. He's going to be the Mercy going alongside Boat in that Far Mercy duo. They're going to be going up against Chime this time, who's picking it up on the defense.
Of course, this is a Pharaoh we haven't seen yet, so it's an unknown quantity here for Citizens. Does Chime have the chops to take it to Boat? Will Chime's bell will be rung by the opposing Pharaoh, the flying Boat. Flying Dutchman? No, probably not Dutch. Probably American. In any case, yes, Pharaoh's duking it out already. The rockets are chiming in. I'm going to stop overusing that one.
It's not too bad, not just yet at least, but we'll see as the duel right there is going on in the backline, and Chime is gonna get his bell rung.
So Boat managed to nail both the Mercy and the Pharaoh with rockets dead on there. Unfortunately, that required a retreat, and now Citizens are fully placed to make their attack on point A. They've got the numbers advantage, and they're making their approach to the point. Astray just hiding in this little room beside the point. They're waiting on trying to make their way back, but that Pharaoh can't get out of spawn. Squid and Boat have them locked down. Chime's trying to float over, already taken a rocket to the face. Trades on the point, both teams losing one. Crimson going down as well, so this defense looks like it's not going very well for Astray at all. They've got 3 members left on the point. Chime is still not able to make their way back. Still low, able to pick up a health pack, but it's not going to be enough. Rory, though, has a kill of their own. They're able to build up the Dragon, so it's impressive play from the Hanzo, on the defending team. Switch, though, going down. Somehow got way too close to that. Orisa was able to had a top a punch to the face. The barrage over the top from Boat as well, finishing off Train Cloud. That will clear up the defense here on point A, and it looked like they got run over, Shy Guy, but it still wasted a minute and a half off the clock.
No, that's what I was gonna say. Like, it was a pretty dominant victory from Citizens. It was only one fight, but it was a really, really long one. It buys some time for Astray to kind of reset here, get their bearings, and try to set up on the defense. This is still doable. Point B notorious for some really long holds here on Eichenwald. Getting over that bridge, always difficult, and Astray just gonna get real aggressive. They are trying to take this fight right at the doors.
And the aggression starts with a Dragon through the amplification matrix. It doesn't quite pick anyone out. Astray, though, is forced to move around, and in the air, Boat again has got Chime's number. Rory finally gets a kill back on the Boat. The rest of the kill feed is showing up all blue. Squid with the kill and a resurrection in that fight. So, you know, a life given, life earned. That's some kind of sacrificial magic there from Squid.
Citizens so far has just been so excellent at being able to combo with these Orisa halts from Korean Snack. This time it was Zeus with the Dragon Strike to really lay in all the damage. Doesn't find the kills through the Immortality Field, but makes them possible for Citizens, who are now just about one fight away from taking a 2-0 lead here.
And the pharmacy of Citizens continues to prove a nuisance to the defending team. Chime finally coming up with something. A concussion blast knocks Korean Snack off the bridge. Though Pote has something to say about that. So does Leo Cake, saying, "You've knocked our Orisa off the bridge. We want revenge," and revenge they will get. There's 2 kills. Zeus with another kill as well onto Aero. The Dragon comes through from Rory. That comes through from inside the doors. Just clears off the cart briefly. Forces the 3 members of Citizens that are sitting on the cart back. But it's approaching the yellow box to victory now. Astray in all sorts. They have the 2 ultimates available to them. Squid going out of this fight will be a boon to the defending team. The Gravitic Flux is there as well. Chime uses a barrage. That's a smart combination. They will finally stall out this cart. 3 minutes left on the clock and not far to go at all.
You know, the Dragon Strike from Roy doesn't find a lot in terms of kills, doesn't find anything in fact, but it buys them just enough time to regroup, to reset in that fight, keeps Crimson alive, prevents the aggression from coming out from Citizens, who are now going to be pushing in, trying to finish things off with just about 3 or 4 ults maybe on the line as this fight really gets underway.
We've seen what happens to teams in this match when they have an ultimate advantage. Sometimes it doesn't go their way. Well, good hold there. Almost pulls in Boat and Leo Cakes, but the Sigma able to get away with their life. both taking a bit of damage as well. So yes, when the Pharaoh's on the ground, it's a much easier target. And Rory's come out on the Widowmaker as well, and they make their impact known straight away. Boat is killed, Squid pops the Valkyrie in an attempt to get the Resurrection. Can they get in there and get it? Yes! Resurrection is available. Mercio is the victim of that. Chime able to pick up Boat as well. So finally this Pharaoh duel looking a little bit better for the defending team as the tanks, the citizens isolated and cut down. And no one touched the card there, Shy Guy. It's moved back a fair way.
No, this is exactly what you want if you're Astray. If they can win another fight here on Eichenwald, they could move that cart far enough back to buy themselves a little bit of breathing room, buy themselves a potential lost fight here. And now as we, the clock starts ticking down, just under a minute and a half remaining, is starting to look doable, but they've got to hold out for a little while longer. They're in good position at this point, but Chime, the only ult available, the barrage needs to be big.
Doesn't have to contend with the opposing Farah this time though. Boat has swapped across onto the Mei, Rory back onto the Hanzo as well, so almost back to the mirror composition. Astray with the Pharmacy, of course. Supercharging Korean Snack is the first ultimate invested into this fight, though Mercio is not going to save their life. They're doing a little bit more healing, but you can't really heal yourself that much. The counter Supercharger from the defense there from Crimson. The projector barrier is almost enough to, it actually is enough to keep that alive. So off the back of that, Crimson picks up the double kill. Leo Case goes for a dive, and what looked like a really solid attack from Citizens is now burned down to only 30 seconds left on the clock.
This is stalling out pretty horribly. Now they will have that Blizzard ready to go for this final fight. Boat just needs to land a couple more shots to be able to get that up. They'll have that Gravitic Flux as well. That combo so deadly if you can halt in a few targets, get them up in the air, and have them landing in an ice storm.
Yep, or you can have them land into a barrage, or Chime unleashes it straight away, or eliminates the support line, gets killed in the process, but you're not going to worry about that as Astray. The advantage is all there. It's even frozen in the Blizzard. No one can touch the car. Astray evens us up here on Eichenwald.
We saw a very similar circumstance on Citizens' attack or on Astray's attack rather, as they were forced to come through that castle, up the stairs, right into a barrage at the tail end of their attack. And Chime shows up pretty big there for Astray on the defense, really coming to life here on Eichenwald, plays the Pharah beautifully, and Astray are able to come up with the victory, tie things up, avoid match point. That is not where they wanted to be, so they'll be breathing a sigh of relief after that one.
They will, and if you've liked what you saw out of Chime on that match, maybe give Chime your MVP vote. I mean, there's lots of contenders for that in that match, and just to keep talking about Chime for a moment, I felt that the Pharmacy duel was definitely going in Boat's favor at the start of the map, but particularly on the defense, it swapped, and I feel Chime was getting the better of it at the end, which that combined with the Widowmaker coming out from Rory forced that swap, and I think that's a lot of what carried us straight through. So maybe just a little warm-up time needed on the hero for Chime.
Yeah, I mean, that's always kind of a difficult one to kind of go into right off the bat. At least I always find that whenever I play Pharah, it takes me a little bit of time to get the timings, especially when you're talking those air v air shots, against the opposing Pharah. It's a bit of an art, a bit of a science to get those down, and Chime really came into his own through the course of that map to help Astray tie this series up. So now we'll be headed into map 3. No sweeps here tonight, as
this could go the whole way, Shy Guy.
Now I have some faith. Yeah, I was a little, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit worried there for a second for Astray. They were in a really rough spot, but to be able to fight that one back, so impressive there. They are looking much better. They have got their confidence back a little bit after that one, so we'll see if they can carry that momentum through the rest of this series, as now they get the chance to ban out one map. Citizens on the with the ball in their court, so to speak, they get to make the choice. I'd love to see something like an Anubis here, and we'll just have to see what the pick is gonna be.
Yep. And while the teams are deciding what they want to ban, what they want to pick, make sure you've make sure you take some time. You can alt tab away briefly, or if you've got two screens, I prefer you do it on a separate screen. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, you subscribe to us on YouTube, you subscribe on Twitch if you can afford it or not, or just give us the follow. Even join the Discord to make sure you keep up to date on everything All-Star Brawl. There's not many matches left in this season. We're at the pointy end. There's only, 5 matches after this one, and we will have a Brawl champion. And of course, you can get all the information you want going forward on the All-Star Brawl 5, which has been announced. Teams are signing up now, and that will be coming to you very shortly after this Brawl ends. So the Overwatch action does not stop here at Star Esports. Make sure you are liking, subscribing, following to keep abreast of all pertinent information.
Absolutely, as now we are getting the map picks coming through in just a second. Anubis has been banned out here by Astray. Smart decision, if I do say so myself here. I think smartly kind of realize they want to avoid Zeus on the Reaper as much as possible. So it is just gonna be Lijiang Tower. Perhaps they really, Citizens. I'm interested with this pick here, especially given what we just saw out of Chime playing that far to such a high level. Lijiang Tower gonna give him plenty of opportunities to pick that up, but Citizens has had success against the Pharah just by kind of playing their own style, putting Leo Cakes on that Diva and really ignoring the Pharah up in the sky, taking the fight on the point. We'll see if that's the strategy this time around and how successful it might be against Astray.
Yep, and I think particularly if we go to Control Center at some point, we will be seeing that Reaper again coming out from Zeus, and that will be a really interesting battle to see. We'll see if Astray chooses to run that Reaper of their own, or they stick with the meta composition. But then again, talking about that Pharah after the last match, I think Astray is probably a bit more confident than they would have been, having seen the performance that did come out. It did come out from Chime. So I guess positives and negatives for both of them. We'll see why Citizens chose to take us to Lijiang Tower. Once we get into the map.
I mean, I think Citizens in general is just really confident on control maps. They seem to have a really strong beat of how they want to play on those types in particular, and it's been at least in the matches that I've gotten to see them play where they've had their greatest success throughout this tournament. So I like that pick from them, and we'll see if they can continue to keep it rolling.
Well, speaking of that last match, they played Control twice, at least twice in that match against Team 2, and they won 2-0 both times they played.
Mm-hmm.
And so you see they've won 2-0 at the start of today as well. So yeah, this could be a tough pick, a tough pick for Astray to play into. So I'm looking forward to seeing it though. Hopefully Astray has a bit more in their pocket than they did on Busan. I wouldn't mind I wouldn't mind seeing this control map going to all 3 rounds, and then actually whoever wins, of course, will be playing at least 2 more maps, so including this one. So
yeah, it's definitely, this is kind of a turning point this series. This is where one team can really kind of take control at this point, put themselves on match point, make it so that they need to just win one more map to finish off the series, to punch their ticket into that grand final. So this one really a lot of stakes to it, as the teams look like they are just about ready to get underway. We'll get going in a second. I'm curious to see if we might get Train Cloud on the Wrecking Ball. We didn't really get to see it on Busan, but it's definitely something in his arsenal. Could make an appearance on Gardens in particular.
Yes, or even Control Center. Actually, no, sorry. Control Center more likely be the Ryan Harissa, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm. That's kind of been the comp de jour on that map in particular, breaking up the Reaper May as well as that Ryan Harissa. Just the incredibly brawly nature works so beautifully on Control Center. It's a fantastic map, and it's always been one of my favorites in all of Overwatch, just because it has a meta that has always been pretty much different from the rest of the game. It plays so much differently, allows for a lot of versatility to come through and for teams to break out unique styles. So we'll get to see that perhaps in a little bit if it's map number 2 or if we go to map number 3. But it is going to be Night Market to kick us off.
Yep, a little late night shopping for the teams. It's well, I know it's getting late especially on the east coast of the US. So get a bit of late night shopping, maybe buy us something to eat while they're here. So they will have to eventually make their way to the point and fight it out. Maybe there's not enough produce for both teams. As you know, oh sorry, I've only got one last kumquat left. So whoever wins this fight is the one that gets the fruit.
Now, one thing to note here with Citizens in particular, in the past on this map, they have chosen to go for some really interesting pathing to start off this point. They have rotated all the way through kind of the shops and the restaurants on the opposite side from the point, trying to wrap around the back of the enemy team. Didn't work out so well in their last series against Team 2. They gave up kind of a free capture on the point. Took them a long time to get started in this series, but Rory just gonna teleport his team straight to the point. They're gonna bunker down here with those sim turrets guarding the entrances.
So we saw the Symmetras on both teams. Like, nah, just a teleport out of spawn, but no. Rory's sticking with it. Zeus, as we hoped, is coming out on the Reaper. He'll use that Wraith form to get behind. Use the Shadow Step to get behind, but immediately has the Wraith form. Astray picking that out straight away. Immortality fields from both sides, keeping both teams alive briefly, but they are burnt down, and Rory picks up the first kill of this fight onto Zeus. As an all-out brawl on the point here, the hammer swinging this way and that way for Traincloud. They will pick up Korean second in. Rory popping up in the kill feed as well. 3 kills off that. And just like that, Astray is in command of the point.
They start off really well. They're able to kind of dive straight into the middle of Citizens, and they separate them. They spot out that flank from Zeus very nicely, and they're able to just split that team kind of in half, focus on the few members that they've got stranded, and then turn towards the rest of the front line. Now the trade of the Amp Matrix is going to result in Rory going down.
They placed a teleport out. I think there was just a little surprise. Forces Zeus to, oh my god, the Earthshatter is huge from Traincloud, lays down multiple members of Citizens, but the kills are going to the side of Astray, as Aero managed to pick up 2 in that fight, but Squid finishes off with 2 of their own.
Yeah, just a little too late, as Citizens are able to use that Amp Matrix beautifully. The 1-2 combo there with the Fire Strike through the window takes Rory out of the fight before he can drop his ultimate. So now Astray gonna be pushing back in here. They'll have that Symmetra wall ready to go. We'll see if they can get any utility out of it.
And the Great Wall comes out and cuts off lots of members of Citizens. Supercharger out as well. Oh, the Blizzard is a counter though. Smart play from Boat there. Forces a sound barrier, and once that wears off, Astray is immediately cut down. That wall not doing much good, keeping out this Citizen horde.
Now Rory just gonna give up on the Symmetra. It was mostly there for that initial point capture. Now he's gonna match Zeus on that Reaper. You're getting what you asked for, Temporal.
Yes, a Reaper v Reaper battle. Rory back on this Reaper as we saw in the trials. I'm loving this. Hopefully they're able to show off some of the same aggression. As a supercharger though is going to make it very difficult for Astray to push in here. Traincloud goes in. Oh, the Earthshatter off Leo this time. That is going to annihilate Astray. Citizens in firm control of this point, 66% and rising.
Just disgusting. Zeus getting in the backline, kind of providing the distraction for Leo Cakes to get around the shield of Crimson. He lays out the beautiful Earthshatter. Easy cleanup for Citizens, who now in firm control here, but they are going up against a fully loaded Astray.
And an Earthshatter of Astray's own. The Blizzard is out. The Earthshatter is not going to be needed. There's 2 immediately cut down. Traincloud with the Fire Strike to follow up onto Zeus. This tank line for Astray is just tearing through the defensive Citizens right now. And the point will be recaptured, and only the Blizzard needing to be invested by Astray. So good fight for them.
Yeah, it is, but they are going to be facing the Blizzard of Boat as the Citizens trying to push back in here. The Amp Matrix in a bit of an awkward spot. Astray not getting much out of it.
Oh, the Shadow gets one, but Leo Cakes is ably being kept alive by the support. So as I say that, they get stunned again and knocked down. Crimson coming in 3 kills so far in this fight. This Orisa does not need DPS in support. They're just a distraction for the other team. Astray will remain in control at this point as the supercharger wears off.
And they even get to bait the Blizzard out of Boat. He commits that just too late for his team to be able to do anything with it. He gets melted even as the freezes are coming through. So now things looking much better for Astray as they'll have both DPS ultimates, a sound barrier for some extra sustain. They've got a real shot here, but Citizens need to play this slow.
The Blizzard comes out first. The wall will stop Astray from following up immediately on it. Mercio, though, cut down. That's the sound barrier out of the way for Citizens. The Death Blossom from Zeus. Oh, doesn't pick up any. The Counter Blossom from Rory is a lot better. Picks up 2 as the point points up to 99%. Zeus triggers overtime, but I'm not sure anyone else can make Mercio with the Lucio rollout. Okay, he's able to touch. Will be forced to use the sound barrier just to keep contesting the point. Leo Cakes is back as well. But the quick picks are coming back from Astray means they will have the numbers on the point. Oh, Boat almost gets moved up the side. He's able to rocket punch their way back onto the point. Immortality Field is there to make sure Astray stays alive. Mercio with their boop on the switch, knocking him off the side. But it's going to be too little. Squid and Zeus trying to do what they can here on the point. Those Fade and Wraith form there. But unfortunately, it's not enough. Squid takes a dive, and the point will go to Astray.
Okay, Astray draws some blood here on Control for the first time. They do what you were asking for. They put Rory on the Reaper to match Zeus, and it works out wonderfully for them. They're able to stay on top of the ult economy throughout that map, and they are able to come out on top in a close fought series here. We'll see if they can keep it up, but now, you know, this is where I think they have their best shot. Chime going to be able to pick up that Pharah and play it to a lot of effectiveness.
Yep, and we're seeing teasers from the off tanks of both teams here. The Wrecking Ball and the D.Va being hovered over. We'll see if they do run out. Yes, they will run out in those heroes. Okay, so seeing mostly meta, but with a little slight a little bit of dive seasoning here, so we'll see how they make use of that. Astray, of course, with a bit more maneuverability, Shy Guy.
Definitely with Train Cloud in play, but you know, the question for Citizens is now, how do you get into position? How do you get Zeus into his optimal range? But they lose Boat, and that's going to make this a tough fight for them.
Yeah, the Citizens are I guess all their numbers on the point so far, but it is all red in the kill feed. I say that Leo Cakes gets on back onto Rory, but that is not going to matter. The D.Va will immediately be out of mech. Straight in control of this point. They will start the capture progress first.
Oh, and they clean up that fight so easily after getting the opening pick. That's the signal they need, especially for Train Cloud. He can go in without fear once the Mei is out of the fight. Doesn't have to worry about being frozen up. Goes in for the slam and helps his team set up a nice fight win there. They're going to be able to set up on this defense and have time. Chime just firing away with these rockets.
Making life miserable for Citizens. Poke goes low at the start of this. Oh, is immediately taken out first again. Roy with the kill this time, following up with the Dragon Strike. That's the Lucio and the Orisa down for Citizens. They're not going to be able to contest this point. Leo Cakes out of mech. See if the D.Va's even able to kill themselves at this point. No, the Stagger is there.
He can't even get off the point right now. He's going to try to go to a different point. They're halting him back. This is one of the most brutal staggers I have seen in a long time.
It's extra play time for D.Va, just running up the numbers a little bit. You know, D.Va's back in the middle. Look at this, 10% play time.
And all that really takes was the dragon from Rory. He's already up to over 50% on that ult charge once again. So they're in such a good spot right now with Zeus making a swap over to McCree. Gives up a lot of ult charge for that one. And Citizens in dire straits here on Lijiang Tower.
Yeah, hopefully they're able to get in close. Use the McCree to good effect And there you go, it starts out, Chime is down already, Boat gets the revenge onto Aero. No first kill for you this time, mate. As Rory, there you go, another Dragon out. 2 kills off the back of that. The proximity mines on the point as well will make it very hard for Citizens to take the fight on the point as they want. Oh, that's an interesting choice of barrage location for Chime. Oh, with the Valkyrie as well. What was Switch thinking? Anyway, they cut down the middle of that.
They're gonna make some swaps here. They realize they see what Citizens are running right now, and they just decide we can go to this rush comp. We can get on the May Reaper. We can speed boost straight into you, and there is nothing that they can do to stop it. With Zeus and Leo Cakes on these off meta picks, this is going to be tough for us.
Oh. Ant Matrix is out for both teams, and the wall from Boat will mean there's no benefit coming from Astray, and the 2 members caught on the point will be cut down. Chime and Trainclad closely following them, and this, they've got a speedy comp to get them back to the point, but it just meant they sped themselves back to spawn as well.
Yeah, that's not ideal there for Astray. They're going to want to try and take one more kind of dry fight here, force some ultimates out of Citizens, and then come back in. It's probably going to come down to who wins that final fight of this map, unless Astray pull off something crazy here.
There you go, using the wall to make sure they can get on the point, and this is where Astray wants to be. They've got the brawl, although unfortunately grouped up means they are grouped up for the Blizzard to make sure they are all frozen and immediately cut down. Another fight win to Citizens, and still only one ultimate needing to be invested.
Yeah, that's perfect. I mean, they executed that flawlessly. The halt sets it up for Boat to come in. Absolutely no way to stop that Blizzard. So now Astray going to have to make it work, still at a pretty significant ult deficit. They don't have anything online yet. Those swaps came so fast, and they got trounced in the last 2 fights. So they haven't had time to build up ultimates, and they're going to be pushing into an arsenal from Citizens.
Oh, Rory. Oh no, Shadow steps in the back line, but tries to assassinate Zeus, but is killed by that McCree player. Leo Case with the Diva Self-Destruct picks up a kill. That's an icon. I haven't seen the kill feed in a while, and off the back of that fight, Gwyd will come up with a 2K as well. Leo Case, actually, 3 kills in that fight. So really great job from the Diva. Will secure this point for Citizens. 1-1 here on Lijiang Tower. We are going to Control Center.
Excellent play there from Citizens to be able to bring that one back. You know, I thought they were in a little bit of trouble early on, but they turn it around. Zeus picking up the McCree and having a huge impact, but more than anything, it's just the team execution from Citizens that really lifts them there. They're able to stay on top of the ult economy through the entire, back half of that point. They stay really efficient with their ult usage, and they're able to come out on top. But now we get into kind of, I would say, the map that favors Citizens the most here on Control Center.
Hey, we will see mirror matchups. Reaper, May, Reinhardt, Orisa coming out for both teams. This will be a brawl here in the brawl. I'm going to stop saying the word brawl as Astray takes up first position on the point. Citizens wrapping around and coming off a little bit second best here. Leo Cakes is very low, will be chunked down by Rory. If he gets killed in the process, that's a lot of damage out of the way for the side of Astray. Actually, it might be very difficult for them to make any progress. Zeus here will be uncontested on the Reaper now. No other Reapers on the field. And that Emo will cut through the rest of that Goth will cut through the rest of Astray. Citizens capturing the point here on the start of Control Center.
Yeah, off to a great start now. They'll be able to push up to this choke point. They'll have the Amp Matrix from Squid ready to go into this fight. The wall allowing Astray to get through the choke unfettered, but now they got a lot of damage to deal with.
Oh, the Amplification Matrix very quickly built up by Squid and Switch as well, but unfortunately Trainclad is the first victim of that fight. Crimson falling as well. The entire tank line from Astray has just been deleted. A kill, Hero managed to get a boot kill on the boat somehow. Switch, well there you go, the support line for Astray, the only ones doing any damage at the moment, apparently. But again, Citizens in command, and look what they have to work with.
Yeah, and Switch just places that Amp Matrix in a really awkward spot. Thought Citizens was kind of on the retreat and they'd be able to chase down some kills, but he puts it behind them and Citizens push forward. Rory on a nice flank here. We'll see if he can deal any damage.
Oh, no damage going through. Oh, Trainclad throws down Leo Shadow in the middle of that Death Blossom and is killed for... Oh, killed for his hubris. That is a disastrous fight for Astray there. Again, Citizens in full command.
That's the danger of sending your Reaper on a flank like that. If Citizens just get aggressive and take the fight immediately, there's nothing Rory can do about it. It's exactly what happened. So now Astray in a bit of an awkward spot. They'll have to rotate up through the high ground to avoid this choke. Rory gonna get caught out.
Oh, no. The Blizzard invested. Oh, the Blizzard invested as well. So Astray really wants to go in on this fight. And honestly, what choice do you have? That will be countered by the Sam Barrier, which is immediately chewed through. Zeus, I don't think getting advantage of that. Rory coming back, but Mercia with 2 kills here, including the bop onto Chime's head. 2 kills, 3 kills from Rory. So this Reaper is turning it around. 4 kills. Oh my god, this is why we want to see Rory on the Reaper. This is what they can do on this hero. They will capture the point as Citizens climbed up to 99%.
He's able to get back into the fight so quickly with that teleport, has the Death Blossom ready to go, and now they have to hold out for the long haul. 99% on the board for Citizens. No ults available for the defenders as they try desperately to keep Lijiang Tower going.
Ooh, Trainclad going very, very low. Probably away. The Immortality Field, though, keeping that Reinhardt alive, and Leo Cakes is the first victim of this fight. As Astray wants to push in on this now, they know the risk with the Orisa out of, with the Reinhardt out of the way, there's only the Orisa shield, and once that's put down, it's not moving. Oh, Zeus is low, gets Rory in the back line, but it doesn't really matter. Astray in control, on control center for the moment, 40% and climbing.
And they get to kind of rebuild their ult economy after that. They had nothing going into that fight, neither did Citizens necessarily, but it allows them to get back into this one. They've now got the tools they need to try and keep this defense going. It's going to come down to execution, as these teams are pretty even so far.
Jeez, I feel like I'm in surround sound. Amplification matrix is coming out on both teams. The Blizzard as well. Coming out from Chime, who's interestingly positioned, but it means that Astray will get the kills they need. Rory picking up 2 at the end. Again, they're in full control of this fight. They invest a couple of ultimate Shy Guy, and Citizens holding on to their own.
Yeah, and that's either going to be their curse or their saving grace here for Citizens. Either they'll have the firepower to come through and finish off this final fight, or it's gonna bite them in the butt here. We'll see if they can make it happen. They open up with the supercharger.
Oh, and the Earth Shatter as well. The death, not the death blossom. Sorry, there is a death blossom. I think they've just invested every single one of their ultimates in one fell swoop. The kills are coming through for them, a couple back for Astray, but it is too much for them right now. Citizens all over this point. They have control, just need to finish off the support line for Astray. Switch will go down, Arrow down as well. Crimson and Chime hanging out, waiting to touch. So they're actually smart play from Astray. They're waiting for as many players to come back as they can. Crimson gets out there, triggers overtime, using that Wrecking Ball, but goes very low, not able to escape that May freeze. Now
they need some more heroics here from Rory if they're gonna be able to bring this one back. He's in the front line trying to do something.
Very low. Oh, gets smacked down by Leo Cakes. Citizens will take control center and take Lijiang, putting themselves on match point.
Well, essentially when they come into that final fight, they've got 5 ults ready to go, and they just dump them all right on top of Astray. They don't even give the defenders an opportunity to respond. They don't want to wait and give Arrow any time to build up to his sound barrier. They don't let it happen, and they are able to close out Lijiang Tower. They maintain their dominance on control, and they take a 2-1 lead in this series.
That they do. No, I guess to Astray's probably relief. We can't play another control map, even if they would try and choose one themselves. But yeah, some fantastic work out of both teams. I did enjoy seeing Rory come back on the Reaper, that 4K, just to bring them back into that last control center. That last map control center was phenomenal to see. On the side of Citizens, of course, we've got to talk about Zeus on the Reaper themselves. Boats May was doing fantastic. Layer Cake's Diva as well. We talked about it at the start of the match. We saw the Diva come out, and it made such an impact, particularly on Gardens, I believe.
Yes, and I also want to point out I absolutely love what I'm seeing from Squid playing the Batiste right now. This guy has really impressed me throughout the tournament. His amp matrix usage always on point. He is so capable when he drops that ultimate of just deleting anyone and everyone on the enemy team. And so far, really coming through big for Citizens, has been an impact player for them, and someone that in my mind should be right up there at the top of that MVP voting.
Indeed, they should. And definitely, particularly in that Battle of the Baptiste, we've seen a couple of times that the amplification matrices from Astray have been a little mispositioned. They're not entirely useful, maybe a bit optimistic. And I feel that if you're putting that in the wrong spot, you're missing out a lot of healing, a lot of damage that Citizens are able to take advantage of on their own. So it's really showing that a good Baptiste is not just about how much heals you're putting out or where the immortality field is, but how you're using that ultimate ability as well.
Yeah, and enjoy the Batiste play while you can, viewers, because I don't imagine we're going to be seeing a whole lot of him once the next PTR patch hits live servers. Seeing some healthy nerfs coming his way, and we'll see how that really shakes out in time. But for right now, Batiste is a power pick, and Squid is putting it to great use.
Yep, and interestingly, we've just had Volskaya banned, so now all 3 assault maps have been banned. So neither team really wanting to play that game type.
Yeah, this is
not that I blame them.
This is now interesting for Astray. They can take us to another hybrid map. They could take us to either King's Row, or what is our other hybrid map?
Hollywood.
Hollywood. Thank you. I was like, it's the one with the platforms that move up and down. I know it, but I can't think of the name.
The one we've seen like once or twice this entire tournament.
Yeah, and they've also got the choices of those escort maps. Rialto, Gibraltar still in the pool as well. So we'll just have to see what it's going to be. They Astray banned out, or Citizens rather banned out Volskaya. They don't want to deal with those assault maps, and that to me makes a lot of sense. They want to avoid the maps where it's difficult to throw Zeus on that Reaper. Volskaya with its open spaces definitely fits the bill there.
Yeah, definitely would have favoured the Chime and Rory DPS matchup. You could run the Farah, you run the Hanzo, lots of open spaces as you mentioned. Honestly, I'd just like Astray to take us to King's Row. We know that they like to brawl it out. Yes, Citizens like to brawl it out as well, but go hard or go home. There you go. They're going to pick King's Row. I get my wish again. I like this team. They like they can't, I suppose, listen to the stream because I just said it and we're on delay.
Yeah, they're reading your mind. It's okay. They're just that in tune with it right now, and we'll see if King's Row is the right pick for them to try and even up this series, force us to a map 5, keep it going, keep themselves alive, and avoid dropping down into that lower bracket.
And speaking of number 5, make sure you're subscribing or following all the Star Esports live options you've got available. You've got YouTube, you've got Twitter, you've got Twitch, you've got Discord, to make sure that you are aware of everything All-Star Brawl 5. And hopefully we'll be able to remind you that after map 5, before map 5. I mean, the number 5 is coming up a lot right now in this sentence, and there are 6 players on each team. I don't know how we're going to get from 5 to 6, but we've just done it.
Hey, we could tie here on King's Row. We could get a tie.
We could get to map 6.
We could get to map 6. It's definitely still possible. Don't rule it out. We do kind of need it. It would have to be the tie here on King's Row with 2 escort and a control map still in the pool. We've got to make it happen here if we want that to be the case. So fingers crossed. Map 6 would be lovely. Map 5 would do just fine as well, as this series, I think, deserves no less than 5 maps. These two teams have been duking it out all night. They're very, very closely matched. No one able to get any kind of a permanent hold on the upper hand of this series. So I'm excited to see if Astray can kind of wrench things back in their favor on Kings Row.
Yeah, and this is an odd position for Astray to find themselves in. They're staring down the barrel of that match point. That is not a position they have been in this brawl yet at all. This is, well, they've just what, tripled the amount of maps they've lost in the entire competition.
Yes,
I mean, you're gonna wondering what's going on. Are they worried? Is this what they're expecting? They're finally against an opponent of the caliber they play at and that they were expecting.
I think it's definitely in part that, because Citizens, I think, has had the much tougher kind of half of the bracket so far, just in terms of the teams that were up there, that they had to fight their way through. Astray having a little bit of an easier run so far. And also, I think, in part, you might be seeing a little bit of the issues of, losing one of your players kind of right as the tournament was starting. They lost Chinese Food out of their roster. He was a big part of this team. He was a really fantastic DPS player, and now they're having to kind of rotate through a number of different players until they find a permanent sixth for this team. So those issues always difficult to deal with right now, especially once you're up against a team of Citizens caliber. Like those weaknesses really start to get exploited.
Yeah, and I suppose it's something we should say about Citizens as well. This is a team name you all know and love. They've been in every brawl so far, but this is a different lineup for them as well. So in a way, they're on the same. They're coming from the same playbook as Astray. They've not had maybe necessarily the same amount of time together as Astray has had. So in light of that, it's also a very impressive run from them to get here. They've done the hard yards. They've gotten through 14 maps so far. Well, now they're up to about 17 maps. And I guess on the back of that, maybe the fact that they have gone to 4 maps, 5 maps so far means they're better equipped to deal with these longer matches as well. Astray has just pretty much had to, they can just go home after 3. This is almost foreign territory for them.
Yeah, exactly. There's the old saying, everybody has a plan until they get hit in the mouth. Well, Astray has been hit in the mouth here so far tonight. We'll see how they respond throughout the remainder of this series as we roll into Kings Row. Interesting to note, Zeus picking up the Hanzo once again. Both teams just kind of playing the meta comp, but Citizens getting aggressive.
Oh. That's quite the aggression coming. Not something you typically see from the defending team. Usually it's the attacking team rushing onto point as the fight comes around the statue. No direct kills off the back of that. As I say that, though, Boat and Leo takes the first victims here. Oh, this defense is just falling apart. That aggression will come back to bite them in the butt.
I just have to question the decision making there. The plan of attack was always to go aggressive. They were ready to do that, but they did it with Zeus on the back high ground. He was behind the point. He was on the complete opposite side of the statue from where they were fighting. When they're in that position, he can't lay in any damage. He can't help them whatsoever, and they're basically just fighting 5v6, and it really just is never going to work out in your favor.
Nope. As the car makes its way out of the garage, they've knocked and given a secret knock and...
Citizens, what is this? They are gonna get really aggressive again. They're gonna drop down from the high ground.
Oh, they've been spotted!
Oh,
that's all right. They're going for the hold in the gateway anyway. This is a decent option for the defending team. If you can stop the card here, which it looks like they're going to do, it makes it very hard for the attackers to start making any progress. And this is what they needed, really, Shy Guy. They need to burn some time off, and they need to do it quickly.
So wonderful defense there from Citizens. This time they stick together as 6. They stay where Zeus can really help them in the fight, and they're able to come out on top. So now we'll see if they can settle into this hold at the choke point. They will have to kind of back off, give a little bit of ground as Astray taking control of that high ground position.
Oh, Train Cloud halted. Oh, gets cut down immediately. They were spotted out up the top thanks to the sonar arrow from Zeus, and the dragon will come through as well to make sure that no one from Astray is alive to even get out here. And they will be forced back to spawn yet again. Still though, 4 minutes on the clock thanks to that lightning fast point A attack.
And Zeus, nice use of the Dragon Strike there, kind of keeps the rest of Astray at bay, so they can't really do anything to help Train Cloud once he's caught out of position. Really well played, heads up from the DPS of Citizens, who now are looking a little bit more comfortable. The first fight not going their way, but so far pretty good on this point B defense.
Yeah, the Dragon comes through from Astray. They know exactly where the... Oh, Trainclad ate the Blizzard from Boat as well. Sigma is definitely known for eating Blizzards. And so Citizens will invest a few more ultimates just to make sure this fight finishes up. They will force Astray back again, but they did burn all their ultimates on that fight. Shy Guy.
It was a great start from Astray. The Dragons kind of forced out the Immortality field really early. They eat the Blizzard, but there was just too much power there from Citizens. They drop absolutely everything, and as a result, you're seeing them just have to back off. They know they can no longer fight at the choke. They know they don't have the resources to do it, so they're gonna try the high ground once again. They force Rory back.
Nope. Oh, the Blizzard comes out. Oh, wow. Astray knows exactly where Citizens has to come at. They throw the Blizzard on there, make sure that team is either frozen or split up. The Dragon will come through from Zeus in an attempt to bring something back. It kills Crimson, but they're way too close to the attacker spawn. They have not only the numbers, they have the respawn timer in their favor. Oh, Leo Kicks and Squid will be cut down eventually, and this cart will finally start making some progress through point B.
Yes, but ultimately that's a massive success for Citizens. The way they were able to hold up at that forward choke is fantastic. They buy themselves a lot of time. Even if they're not able to get the hold here on point B, it really just allows them to be much more comfortable going into the final stages of the map. It's going to be one final fight to see if they can make this one happen.
Yes, Astray getting very aggressive. They've got the cut almost to the end of point B, and that's where they will make their stand. Citizens, will make their stand at the end of point B, and they almost give up their point. A Gravitic Flux comes through from Trainclad, using it to pick up most of Citizens, slap them back down. Korean Snack will be the only victim of that. Zeus getting the call into Rory, so it's Hanzo knocking out the other Hanzo, and it's quite a brawl in the cart here. It's stopped. It looks like it might slightly be in the favor of Astray, especially when you've got the sound barrier in tow as well. The counter Dragon comes out, will ensure the Arrow's demise. No sound barrier left to save the Lucio, but Zeus is the only person left on this point right now. They will be cut down. The cart will push through 3 minutes, left on the clock for Astray.
And Astray looking to get aggressive, take some position around this final point, get set up for this next engagement. They'll be trying to use that Blizzard as they're opening. Perhaps the Dragons out from Rory could delay the fight a little bit and just keep that payload moving.
Yep, Zeus on the high ground, just throwing in the arrows onto the cart, making sure the arrows awake down there. And there you go, the defending team's been spotted out. The Dragon will go through, take out Squid. Mercio throws in the sound barrier, but unfortunately for them, is cut down at the same time. Zeus, though, has something to say about it, gets 2 kills, gets killed in return. The boat is there as well, just harassing the backline for Astray. Kills Switch, chases Arrow back to the cart. It's now bit of a 3v3 here. Leo Case going down, Boat hiding up the top. Astray, brief little window, but not much done.
Yeah, I mean, those kills from Boat and Zeus really just kind of save Citizens in this situation. If they get wiped there, the payload probably finishes without much of a final defense. So they're able to buy themselves enough time. The rest of Astray can't hope to keep it going. Now Leo Cake's gonna unleash the Gravitic Flux.
Oh, the Grav Flux lifts them out of the drag, and that's a bit of a misplay from the defending team there, with Mercio going down as well. It opens up the option of the counter Gravitic Flux from Trainclad. Leo Cakes goes very low off the back of that, is finally able to be taken down. Though again, it's the DPS from Citizens doing the work. They're getting some kills on the cart. Boat will be cut down, but it has given time for the rest of the defending team to come back. Mercio's back in this fight. Boat almost stays alive, as the cart is slightly pushing through, but Korean Snack is out. The Leo Cakes is out. Actually, so most of the defending team is now out. So really good work from the DPS there.
and Squid used his Ant Matrix way in the back, thought he was trying to keep, you know, Boat and the rest of his team alive, but Astray just back off as soon as that one is out, and now they get to come back in with one of their own.
Oh, Crimson cut off, cut down. Mercio, Rory picking up 2, but sacrificing their life for it. So 2v2 trade on the cart, but that will favor the defense, especially now there's a blizzard on the field.
Where did it go? Did it fall through the map?
It might have gone through the map, that or it was cancelled. Either way, no blizzard available for the defending team now. All they have is a dragon, but Astray, only 20 seconds left on the clock. They have to charge forward with what they have.
Yes, but they've got plenty. They've got the dragons are gonna. It's just gonna buy them some space as they push in here. They've still got the sound barrier. The blizzard is out.
Cut off. Oh, Korean Snack goes in to try and save the Maze life, but it's not enough, and they might see the death of the Orisa. No Squid though. Actually, it's pushing forward to try and save the Maze life, but gets cut down in the process. And Astray using their ultimates to great effect. They are pushing this cart through it. Just the stall picks coming through from Citizens now. Boat is on the Doomfist. Quite an uppercut there. Gets 3 in the air, but will be cut down themselves with a nice icicle to the face from Boat. The cart will finish in overtime. Astray pushing it the whole way.
Yeah, a little bit of a mistake coming out there towards the end from Citizens. They try their best to go save Boat, who's caught out by the blizzard, but they just, it's impossible at that point. They needed to sacrifice him and just back off, regroup, and try to contest at the last second.
Yep, not enough though. And now Astray kept themselves in this. So Citizens, it's not all doom and gloom for them. They need to finish the map, but if they're able to finish with that minute left in the time bank, they'll get their own free attack. And honestly, for them, a win or a draw is better, is a much more preferable outcome than a win for Astray on this map.
No, for sure. So they'll be looking to finish this map. If Citizens can do it with over a minute remaining on the clock, they'll have an opportunity to close out the series right here. If it gets under a minute, both teams going to go again on the attack. So we'll just have to see. Astray, though, will be doing everything they can to take King's Road, to force us to a map 5, a decisive final map of this series.
And we're seeing the standard defense come out from Astray here. Actually, I say standard. Switch is on the Zenyatta now. I don't know if I think we've been seeing mostly Baptiste Lucio from them. But there's this Discord Orb, just a little bit of extra damage available. Therefore, Triangle Rory, maybe don't need headshots now. You can just stick with body shots and get the job done.
This could be a slight bit of trouble here, depending on what Citizens run. If they're smart, I think they'll get Zeus on the Reaper
Symmetra.
once again. He might just be staying with the Symmetra to get them through the choke point easily. I'm wondering if he's gonna go back to spawn.
I think he is. Yeah, he's taking the long way around.
He's going back to the Reaper, and they should be able to
punish. What a halt! Oh, so Korean Snack got isolated thanks to a great halt coming through from Crimson, knocked the rest of the Citizens off that top shelf, and now they're very split up. Oh, okay. Oh, the Great Bamboozle. They've been watching the Overwatch League.
Yeah, we'll see if he can keep up.
Yeah.
And now they've got the high ground. They are going to chase down Rory. He is all kinds of out of position.
So Astray looking like they want to take the fight in the choke point to make sure that the reinforcements for Citizens cannot go back. But as you were saying, the Citizens, I'm very confused as to which team is attacking, which team is defending right now. They're coming from all different directions. Mercio will get the kill onto Chime, and it looks like both teams have roughly stabilized. The switch was caught a very long way out, and now there you go. The defense is now in the defending spot, attackers in the attacking spot, and Citizens making the progress straight onto the point. Unfortunately for Astray, they were forced to back off and wait for the reinforcements, and they're essentially giving up point A.
Yeah, they're not even going to attempt to recontest here. An interesting situation considering they had their full 6 available. They just needed to back off a little bit, but they're going to attempt to do kind of what Citizens did to them last time around. They're going to hold at this choke point and see what they can make of it. Going to be kind of difficult though. Squid will have that Ant Matrix ready to go. That might buy Citizens the space they need to get through this treacherous point. But no, they'll just abandon the cart and go on this long rotation.
Who needs the cart? I mean, it floats. Just float it over the top. I do not understand why it's so close to the ground. And as Citizens, they've shown they're a fan of the long flank, and they're making use of it again. Astray knows where they're coming from, but they're very split up right now. I say that though, actually the supports are on the high ground. Oh, switch! Holds it off the side, forces the Immortality Field to come out just to keep that Zenyatta alive. The Crimson gives their life in the process, and the Citizens finally going back for the cut. They have a player advantage in these B streets.
I have to question what Crimson thought he was doing there. He backed off towards the cart while the rest of his team was backing towards their spawn. Citizens had them completely split up. It was the easiest kill in the world for them, and it's so much free movement on this cart just for that one kill.
You gotta wonder, is the length of this series starting to play on Astray's mind? As we say that, they've got lots of ultimates available, as the Blizzard is the first one out. It freezes nobody. It does force Citizens back, but the amplification matrix is there to ensure that Zeus is able to get the kills they need. Oh, and the Earthshatter comes out as well. Make sure no one is able to contest on this cut. Citizens are marching through the streets phase here on Kings Row. I don't think there's any really contest coming out at the end of Point B for Astray.
Definitely not. Astray just looking a little bit boomed right now. They're so desperate to follow up on Chimes' Blizzard that they walk right into the face of that amp matrix. They get melted completely, and now they've got to hold out here on Point C for at least 3.5 minutes. They cannot afford to let Citizens finish with over a minute left. They really need to try to make this happen now.
Oh wow, what a combination. Citizens wraps around the side and uses the whole Undragon combo to take out Aero and also nullify the amplification matrix that came out from the Baptist. There you go, the Blizzard is out as well. The Gravitic Flux from Train Cloud not really achieving anything. Citizens are marching this cart through, still 4 minutes left on the time bank, and they're coming around the final corner potentially on the way to a semi-win. They won't win out if they finish the map, but they're looking like setting a strong time bank.
Yeah, I mean, if they finish things here, Astray looking very, very in trouble at this point. So once again, Citizens, they continue. They continue. They see Astray is having trouble dealing with these unique pathings, but this time not going to work out for them. They push into the supercharger, and Leo Kegs goes down.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Reinhardt caught out. Squid goes down as well. This attack will finally be stalled. Astray, some semblance of control being restored on this map. 3 minutes 20 left in the time bank though, and I feel the ultimate percentage may be slightly favouring Astray at the moment, Shago.
No, it definitely is, but that's not going to last for very long. The question for them now becomes you've got to use these ults efficiently. You can't be throwing everything into any individual fight. You've got to be careful, but at the same time you can't afford to hang on to anything. It's a double-edged sword at this point. A really tough situation to find yourself in. So how will they handle it?
There you go, the Blizzard, sorry, not the Blizzard, the Dragon Strike is the first thing thrown out, but Citizens definitely avoids that. They've gone on this wide flank again. Astray knows exactly where they are this time. They've also spotted out the fact that Zeus is isolated. Rory will take out that kill, so that's a smart start to the fight from Astray there. They're finally cottoning on to Citizens' strategy. The wall will be there to make sure they can't rotate back to where they started from. The Citizens has counter-rotated back to the cart. The amplification matrix out as well, though. The Blizzard from Chime will ensure that Leo Cakes isn't able to make use of that. Mercio getting killed as well. Train Cloud with a kill thanks to the accretion. There you go. Citizens will be cut down. So Astray finally adapting to these wild flanks that Citizens have been using.
Yeah, I mean, they're realizing that they've just repeatedly been kind of getting ganked in the back by Zeus while the rest of Citizens, occupies their attention with the different paths to the point. So we'll see if the Citizens want to go for a bit more of a straightforward approach this time around. It might not necessarily be the case. They're all sticking together for the most part, not spreading out, other than Zeus, who's kind of playing on his own.
So there's Hanzos on both teams liking to play on their own, but I think both teams, because they like playing that way, they're a little bit aware on how that works out, and we see Rory has an advantage at the moment. Train Cloud on the Sigma, just providing that little bit extra shielding, as Zeus throws in the Dragon. That's some great comms for Citizens to identify where Astray wasn't allowed Zeus to do that from spawn, but Train Cloud is able to take out the Hanzo. Kills going both ways at the moment. the supercharges have from both teams as well, I think. Lots of crisscrossing amplification beams. The Gravitic Flux is there from Train Cloud. Will be countered by the sound barrier from Mercio, making sure that all the remaining members of Citizens stay alive. And Train Cloud taking a dive off the edge of the map. Oh no, killing himself, sorry, with the hyperspheres. Okay. And Citizens now pushing the cart forward.
Oh, and Switch gets taken down towards the tail end of this fight. That's a rough stagger here. He's not going to spawn really in time to participate, at least at the beginning of this last fight. It's just going to be a mad rush from Astray.
Train Cloud doing what they can to make sure this cart stops. The timer is, of course, under a minute. The Dragon's out as well. Not going to get any kills off that. Citizens able to move away, but Leo Cakes moves out of the way straight into a freeze. Mercio going down as well. It looks like Astray might be able to hold this. It's now a 3v3 on the point. As a Squid in the backline, 3 kills from the Baptiste. What is this? Not even assisted by an amplification matrix. And just like that, it's Train Cloud, the only member alive from the defense on the point. The cart's almost there. It's 0.084 meters away. The numbers are solidly with Citizens here. They are so close to pushing this through. Another Dragon comes out. Triumph will die off the back of that. Crimson to Switch going down as well. The cart will finally push itself home off some heroics from the Baptiste. Wow, both teams finishing the point in overtime.
Squid, what is this guy made of? Just absolutely disgusting on the Batiste. He is a madman. I've never seen anything like this. He saves that final fight for Citizens, pushes them over the line, avoids losing the map outright after they started out so strong. The fact that it got down to overtime in the first place is a huge testament to Astray's resilience on this point. Now both teams gonna have a minute to work with for the attack. It's gonna be Astray coming out first, and how will they respond here? They've gotten their feet kind of back up underneath them here on King's Row. Can they carry that into the attack? They're going to have to deal with Zeus on the Reaper with only a minute to work with. He's going to be able to kind of be a little bit sneaky on this first attack. They won't necessarily know he's here, and that could make him very deadly.
I think, definitely how Zeus plays and how Zeus is treated by Astray will be the defining factor of this attack. Whether or not they're able to make any progress, really they need to make some progress. Of course, if they don't make any progress, the best they can hope for is a draw. And Zeus.
They might just go for the rush again. I think that's the plan here for Citizens. Astray a little bit wary of it. They're posturing around the choke right now.
Oh, they're gonna try and go in. I think they've spotted Zeus. Arrow is just, Arrow and Switch are just firing down this lane where Zeus is at the moment. And so they at least know the Reaper is there. So they're being wary, which I think is a smart play by them. They know they've got limited time. But Rory sneaks around, dome Zeus. This will be what Astray is looking for. That was very, very smart play from the attacking team here. They will move straight onto the point and force Citizens to bring the fight to them without that brawly, those Hellfire shotguns. As Chine gets in the back line, being a nuisance with all the freezes, they are, slightly isolated. No, they're able to get the kill onto Squid. And that's the Baptiste out of the way. That's all Zeus is back, gets stunned, gets immediately cut down to half. Lots of focus going on to the Reaper. Without the burst healing coming through from the Baptiste, it's going to be very difficult for Citizens to even stay on this point. The kills are coming through. It looks like Astray will have what it takes to cap the point and get the cart progress started, Shy Guy. Wow.
It all starts with Rory making the heads-up play. As soon as Astray has spotted out Zeus, they send him on the flank through the theater. He peeks out that top window, domes Zeus right away, and is able to kick that fight off perfectly. They get the man advantage. They rush down Citizens, and they get this payload moving.
And the reward is a dragon for Rory. Switch has the amplification matrix as well, and they make great use of that, picking up 2 straight away. The Baptiste opening the account on this occasion. This cart, wow, that was a dominant fight from Astray. Their Citizens not putting up much of a defense at all.
No, not at all at this point. And their one saving grace is they'll be able to push back in here when they do recontest with a Blizzard and with that Amp Matrix ready to go. But the Supercharger, the Gravitic Flux, another Blizzard on the side of Astray, they are set up beautifully to keep this payload moving.
Oh, the Hulk comes out, the Dragon not quite able to kill anyone off the back of that. The Immortality Field and the Cryo Freeze keeping everyone alive in that fight. The Supercharger's out now as well. As the card approaches point B, with the extra damage coming out from the Orisa ultimate, will make sure that Citizens have a hard time even contesting this card. And this is great for Astray. There you go, there's lots of ultimates coming in. This is the final stand for Citizens right now. They throw in everything to support ultimates. The Blizzard as well, able to get a couple of kills off the back of that. Astray throws in everything they have as well. The Zeus comes over the top with a Death Blossom, making sure Rory is out of that fight. With the Hanzo out of the way, the cart will finally be stopped here just shy of point B, but that is a solid effort from Astray.
Yeah, Astray got to be so happy with how that attack turns out, but I do want to commend Citizens for their patience in that final fight. A lot of teams would just rush in knowing that they had a little bit of kind of some ults coming online. They had an opportunity to stop the cart, but they wait out the ult usage from Astray. They wait out the dragons, they wait out that supercharger, and then they go in with the rest of their ultimates to close it out, knowing they've got the advantage, knowing they can get Zeus into position to deal all that up close and personal damage. So they do nicely there, but the mistakes earlier on in the map might just cost them King's Row.
They might. So Astray setting themselves in a great position here to keep themselves in this match, draw us level at 2-2, and throw us to that map 5 that we so desperately want to see today. Sticking on the defense with the same defense they started with last time. Didn't quite work out so well, but hopefully they've learned from their mistakes. They're not going to get caught on weird, wild, flanktacular Citizens here, who are starting Zeus on this Symmetra again, hoping for another little teleporty strat.
Yeah, we'll just have to see where it's going to go. This time it still seems to just be a route to get through the choke, without any risk of death. So they do get to take the high ground with this.
Oh, and it looks like Chime and Trainclad caught out, will be burst down. Sigma, the first victim of the fight, the Immortality Field, making sure everyone else stays alive. Okay, you can go that. Rory still in the back line here. Zeus has changed over to the Reaper this time, not the Widowmaker, just harassing the Hanzo on the defense. Trades coming through, no Maze left on the field, so there's no Venn diagram of ice coming out anytime soon. Korean Snack going down as well. So it's 4 members of Citizens still alive on the high ground at the moment. They're currently outnumbered by Astray.
Oh no, Zeus gets caught out. They found him teleporting. He doesn't have a support with him to heal him back up. He's got to find a way to heal himself with those Hellfire shotguns.
Yeah, Squid gets the first kill in this fight. That's another great play by the support. Gets 2 kills, Mercio chiming in as well. Leo Cakes on the scoreboard as well. So Astray going down there, and the Citizens, not even a DPS in sight on the kill feed.
No, I mean, Zeus got completely shut down there. It was all Leo Cakes and Squid in that fight. They do have to commit the Amp Matrix, but again, Arrow, uses his as well. So an opportunity now for Astray to close it out, though. They'll be able to push in here, get really aggressive with the Transcendence. They've caught a couple members off guard. Can they finish off these kills? It doesn't look like it. The shield from Korean Snacks is perfect to save them.
Yep, boat forced into the cryo freeze as well. The supercharger now for Korean Snacks will make sure the Arrow is taken out of the fight. The Dragon through points forces Citizens off the cart ever so briefly, but they're able to keep alive, keep pushing forward to let out the Blizzard. That is countered absolutely by the Transcendence, but it won't matter. Once that healing wears off from the Zenyatta, all the kills will come through for Citizens. They will keep pushing this cart forward in a something I feel like I'm having deja vu. I think I've seen this before quite recently.
It's almost a mirror image of what we saw last time around. It's gonna come down to a final fight here. Citizens looking to finish off this series. If they can push it through that yellow box of victory, they've got it here. It's just gonna be the support ultimates potentially for them. Squid almost to another Amp Matrix. Mercio there with the sound barrier to give them some extra
Astray has to
sustainability.
contest this cut. It's almost there, a meter away. They have the Blizzard available to them. It's not in. They lose Crimson at the start of the Squid again with the first kill of the fight. Rory's able to finish off both, so it's now a 5v5. Squid again with a triple kill. They've done it. Citizens is through to our championship match. What?
Astray just couldn't quite get the engagement they were looking for with that blizzard. They try to throw it in, but nearly everybody on Citizens escape and give it to me, baby. Squid with the play of the game. It's not even in either of like the ones
the triple kills.
Yeah, it's not even the ones that kind of finished off their pushes. It's just
double kill.
I mean, he does it all, man. This guy is absolutely insane. I mean, if you can't tell, I think you know who my pick for MVP would be in this series. But
just carrying the map for the series, bloody hell! Make sure you're voting down below right now. There's no more time to do it. What? She's just out of nowhere on both of their attacks. Just thinks, oh, hang on, I'm supposed to be doing something here. Oh, look at this. I can left click. Oh, look at that. They're all dead. What?
Good lord.
Wow.
I absolutely love to see it. He has been there time and time again throughout this tournament when Citizens need him most. And, you know, it had been a bit of a tradition, you know, going back a couple of matches for Citizens to go to tense map 5s. This time, they just take care of business in 4. They dominate on Control. They keep their winning streak going there, and they close it out on Kings Row. An excellent series from them. They got a lot to be proud of coming out of this. Astray, though, falling down into that lower bracket. They'll be playing in the lower bracket finals with an opportunity to earn a rematch with Citizens.
That they will, and perhaps an uncomfortable feeling for them. But yeah, all credit to Citizens here. This is, I mean, looking back at this match, probably, given they only went 3-1, it's probably one of the more comfortable matches they've had, more comfortable outcomes for them. They did really well, particularly on Control. They did really well on those maps. Li Zhang, a little bump there, but they got the job done, so definitely showing up on those game modes. And, I mean, talking about the other players on Citizens as well, Boat was doing a fantastic job with on the Mei. Zeus as well, showing their flexibility on the Widowmaker, on the Reaper, on the Hanzo as well, throwing in well-timed dragons, combining well with Korean Snack as well. We saw a lot of great holds, particularly into the ultimates of the DPS heroes. We saw a few dragon hold combinations, which I really liked, and the flexibility from Leo Cakes was there as well. We saw the Sigma, we saw the Diva, so lots of great work from that off-tank player on Citizens.
I mean, we even saw the Reinhardt from him. It was big for them there on Kings Row. They ran it through most of that attack round that got them, you know, finished out the 3 points and helped them clean up this series. We saw it on Li Zhang Tower. I mean, he had that massive Earth Shatter on Night Market, and you know, so everybody on the side of Citizens really showed up to play here tonight. I love watching this team, and I am so happy to have them back in the grand finals of the All-Star Brawl. I mean, this is one of the mainstays that we've had in this tournament. They won a brawl way back in the day before we were even the All-Star Brawl, back when we were the Watchers. I mean, so this team has been around forever, but with a new look roster, they are still ready to show that they are going to be a mainstay in Tier 3. They are not going anywhere.
That they are, and yeah, I'm looking, and it'll be interesting for them to see who they face. Now they've actually got 2 potential matchups available to them. They could face up again against Team 2, or they could face up against Astray. So, from the side of, you know, we've got Mercio in the call with us. Welcome, Mercio, and congratulations on that.
Thank you.
That was quite a finish, particularly going after that defense from Astray. How were you feeling after Astray almost held you at the end on Kings Row, wasting away 5 minutes on point C? Were you confident going to extra rounds?
It was a little scary, especially when they got to the second point, Joe. Because that's a long distance for 1 minute to make up. But we never give up. We don't even sweat adversity. We go into it as hard as we can, hold nothing back.
Well, I mean, throughout the tournament, you guys have had to overcome that adversity. I mean, you've played 2 5-map series up to this point, and another, you know, a 4-mapper here tonight. Do you think that kind of experience of going the distance kind of helped you keep your cool here tonight?
Absolutely. I feel like just this entire team, I have to say, on a side note, they are absolutely amazing. Absolutely every single person on this team is just phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, we absolutely agree with you. I mean, we've been bigging up your support partner all night long. Squid just had a series of a lifetime there. Just a fantastic partner for you. I'm sure you love playing alongside him.
Yeah, he is absolutely insane. I love Squid.
We saw on a lot of those maps you go on some longish flanks. King's Row in particular, we saw you going using all the little corridors, using the alleyways to get around. We saw it at the start of on Busan as well. Is that a particular style you like to play? Not going straight for the point, but going all the way around to where the other team comes from?
Well, the entire idea behind it is like controlling lanes. We're just trying to out-rotate them and force them into a place where they can't control the angles as much. Especially playing on King's Row, like spam versus the brawl.
And who on your team is the one calling out, I guess shot calling, the one saying, okay, this is what we're doing now and this is where we're going now?
That would be Korean Snack.
Korean Snack, okay.
Okay, so I mean, now as we look forward to the rest of the tournament, you've now gotten yourself into the grand finals. You know, you've had a lot of good series here tonight, but you know, as you look at the rest of the competition, is there anyone in particular that you want to go up against? You know, perhaps a new team, perhaps a rematch against one of the teams you've already faced?
I gotta say, I'm looking forward to seeing Team 2 make their run. I want to meet them up again, have another awesome series with them.
Okay, that will be one hell of a match.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've kind of got my fingers crossed for that one as well. I want to see them, you know, get back to full strength. They were playing you guys with the ringer, so I want so desperately to see that matchup again. I think we'd be in for another treat. But you know, congratulations so much on the victory here tonight, Mercio, and as well on the viewers MVP. They chose you this evening, and so I do want to just give you an opportunity now to say some words to your fans. You know, shout out anyone behind the scenes. Just give you a little bit of a moment here to say your piece.
I want to shout out just everyone from Citizens and my friends in real life. Surprisingly, I have real life friends, but they actually came out and decided to watch me tonight. So big shout out to them.
All right. Well, we're gonna let you get back to your team and celebrate a big victory here. Well deserved. Mercio and the rest of the Citizens have a wonderful night, and thank you so much for joining us for the interview.
Thank you.
Whoa, jeez, I'm still coming down after that finish. Bloody hell.
Yeah, that's not a match that I'm gonna forget for quite a while. Absolutely wonderful to watch, and equally wonderful to cast here alongside you, Tim Forel. It was a heck of a show they put on for us.
It was indeed, and thank you for casting with me as well. We've cast before together in trials and other places, and it's nice to have you around. And I'm sure if you, we've still got left in the brawl. We have 3 matches before the championship match. We're going to finish out the lower bracket. We'll see. First, we need to figure out, of course, who plays against Astray in that lower bracket final. And of course, in about a week's time, we have the championship match. Make sure you do not miss out on that. And if you want to keep up to date on the results of any matches, you want to watch those next matches, make sure you are subscribed or following the Twitch channel. You are on the Star Esports Live Discord. You can rewatch matches on YouTube at youtube.com/Star Esports Live. We've got Twitter as well, keeping up to date on everything Star Esports at twitter.com/Star Esports Live. Don't know how I forgot that.
Yeah.
In the meantime, sign up for the Overwatch All-Star Brawl 5 if you haven't done already, and you've got a team that is wanting some high-level Overwatch action to partake in. If not, just make sure you're keeping abreast of information so you can watch it, because the match we saw tonight, we've got plenty more of that for you left in this brawl and in the coming months. So anything else from you, Shogo?
I just want to plug real quick the matches that we've got going on to tomorrow night. This tournament keeps on rolling. We're going to have two really, really good ones tomorrow evening. It's going to be What's Your Name taking on Plus Mafia and Scion Esports in a big rematch against Team 2. I am really excited. That one went to 5 last time as well. So getting to see those two go head to head once again is going to be a treat for sure as we continue the march towards the grand final. We've got one participant. We just got to get one more to see who Citizens is going to be going up against.
That will. And okay, so that will be all for us tonight. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow and onwards. I've been Temporal, I've been joined by Shy Guy, and you just saw Citizens take down Astray 3-1 in the winners bracket final of the Overwatch All-Star Brawl as presented by Star Esports. Thank you and good night.
See you next time, everybody.